Well, hey howdy everyone, Lozzie here, back in action for more Scarlet Attraction. That's right, we're playing the Great Ace Attorney 2. The final case, the resolve of Naruhodo Renosuke. And apparently, we just found out that Kazuma's father written Scarlet for some reason? Quite odd, because when we look at the papers, they look only in black ink. Scarlet, you say? Well, yes, I mean, I only caught sight of it for a brief moment, of course. But even in the dim light in the cell, I remember thinking that it was an unusual color. At the very least, quite sure it wasn't black. Oh, witness! Is that really what you saw? Well, sir! Is something wrong? Lord Strongheart? I apologize. Continue. What do you make of that, Mr. Naruto? For Lord Strongheart to be so visibly shaken in that way? Oh, didn't either? You can plainly see the rot in here, and it's as black as the Earl of Hale's waistcoat. Well, yes, you're right. Mr. Beagle, I'd like to confirm one point with you. Did you actually see the content of the document that Mr. Osagi was holding that night? Oh, well, no. I mean, there was no time. As soon as he noticed me that, he hid it behind his back. But it was definitely a will, was it? Yes, it was. That's what Mr. Osagi told me. The court needs waste no further time on this matter. We have the will in question in our possession. There's nothing more to add. A will written in scarlet ink. What did Mr. Beagle really see Kazuma's father holding? I wonder. If you have an inkling, Mr. Naruto, you must present it to the court at once. Oh, we're supposed to find out what's read. That testimony didn't give much away. So this will really was penned by Kazuma-sama's father? I wonder what he could possibly have meant when he described it as a weapon. Starting to sound very much like Mr. Osagi actually had nothing. But the plan to break him out of jail went ahead. Which means he must have had some bargaining power. He must have been hiding something. It's the only explanation that makes sense. It's starting to sound like Mr. Osagi actually might have had something. Which is it, Mr. Naruto? I'm not sure, but I feel as though I'm on the brink of understanding all this. Let's listen to all the information again and see what more we can learn. Can't overlook even the smallest detail. Absolutely. So, red. The document. So he's saying document too. That's red. This could be it. Or oh my god, are you for real? This is his last will and testament. Are you for real? Is that a possibility? He literally meant weapon as weapon.
Objection.
No? That wasn't it. Dang it. I'm running low here. I've already wasted one, thinking I needed to press the papers, but no. It has to be this. It has to be. So the only thing I could think of would be this thing here. There's only so many things that you can go about. Telegram. No. Evacuation drill doesn't have it. It's not letting me look at it. Maybe if I... What if we just kind of open it? Because I think this is what he saw. He saw this part here. I guess not? That would make sense for the red. So if it's not any of those, what else could he have had that was red? The rest of this doesn't make as much sense. So it has to be his ring, right?
Objection.
No? Alright, I got a game over then. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I straight up don't. There's only so many things that we could have done here. And I just don't know. And he's just like, oh yeah, I got away with it. I got away with getting everybody. I can't think of anything else that it would be aside from his weapon or the ring. Because when I pressed the actual document, it wasn't that. So it's like, what do I do here? Retry from this scene, that's fine. Yes, I think this is the most game overs I've ever had with these types of games. I've had like 4 or 5 game overs? Kind of insane. Do we need to get the other one? We do, we need to get the other one. So we need to get that part too. Then we need to press the Scarlet part. It's fine. Oh, where do I press exactly? Well, it could be something where I get something else from something. That could be the case, like I press on something. Come on.
Is that right?
Alright, pursue. We get this Scarlet here. We can't really pit anybody else to anything else here, though. Wait! He has something on his person. Why does he have like a little red handkerchief on his person? I'm probably just noticing way too many things and thinking that it's gonna work. This is how I got into my game overs, y'all. So then we just need to press this to make sure that we have it. Because I don't know, sometimes you do have to press it again. And it has the rest of it. We found everything else. We pressed everything else over there. So I'm a little confused. So he shows up this. He talks about this stuff. And it's like, oh, something happened. So he clearly knows. And then he's showing that. Do we show him the papers? And then he's like, I didn't see the actual content. What did he really see Cosmo's father holding? So, we only have so many things. I genuinely thought it was something with the sword, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Like, it's a little weird to me. Come on. But then we're at here. It was a document. That has nothing to it. This? I could only think of like a personal effect on somebody as like a thing too. It's the only weapon he had left. Then we have passport. The rest of this is just stuff that like doesn't apply. I'm so annoyed at this because there's so many little things that are just like, it's there, but it's not. It has to be the sword, right? It has to be. Like, I want to, like, do something with it, but I can't, like, look at it more. I can't unravel it. So if we do this, the sword's out. We already have the tip part. That's there. There's nothing here. This is what I think it was, but it clearly was just like, no, it's not that. That's not the thing that it was found. So I have to wonder what it could be that I'm looking for here. Because the only other thing that I see is this, and it's red, and it's there, and that's kind of it. I don't have anything else. I don't think it's this thing. It's Kazuma Osagi. What else do we have here? Dismissal notice. What if... it's possible that this, like, it's a jewel? Is it a jewel, perhaps? He was found on the desk of the scene as smiling. And then all these things. There's evidence that I need, and I don't know where the evidence would be. There's nothing red here. It's not a thing there. Is there anything red here? No. There doesn't seem to be anything red there. What about here? There doesn't seem to be anything red here. So... we could present the papers again. There might be a thing where I just had to see it again. It's possible. Let's look in here really quick. There might be something inside. Maybe Tobias Grayson was attached to something or did something else. No, not really. There's nothing there that I could deal with. There's nothing there. So what is the thing that I need to do? Let's see here. The only thing I could think of is to just present them again after we learn such a thing.
Objection.
We do that. It's not there. And immediately just cuts me, hits me. So that was left in his cell, a kimono, I think it's called. Or directed came to me in the impound. Doing something with his will. As a warner, responsible for condemned convicts. I attended Mr. Osagi and cut to watch on his cell. There's, like, nothing else here that I could press. I pressed everything. I have every those things. This is the only thing left. So, with that being said, I'm going to have to just submit defeat and gotta find out what I need to actually press, because I don't know. We only have so many of the 10-year missing, and I made sure to just get the one little thing. Didn't want to look at anything else. And then I look here after I see present this, and I was like, what? Why? This is why you had to read everything. This is fucking why. Because, like, it has this little thing about, like, recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers of the right hand, but no document in corresponding ink was found. So, Clint died this way?
Objection!
I don't know. I just... whatever. Scarlet colored writing is what you said you thought you saw, Mr. Veagle. But I believe that's exactly what you did see. What? Have us again. No evidence to say that. I have a look at this report. That's my brother's autopsy report. Yes, and there's something in here that's bothering me since I first read it. It states that scarlet-colored ink stains were noted on the fingers of the victim's right hand. Yes, so it does. Scarlet ink? Now, I'm not familiar with the habits of the British aristocracy, I freely admit. But I would hazard a guess that they don't all go around with ink stains on their fingertips, do they? Your wit is not appreciated. My brother was a well-bred and facetious man. Should the ink have sullied his fingertips, he would have cleaned them immediately. What is your point, counsel? My point is this. Whatever Lord Clint Van Zieks was writing in that unusually colored ink, it must have been directly before his death. Oh, I get it now. Clint wrote something, gave it to Osugi, and he had the paper, and he put it in his will. Oh, because he died before he had the opportunity to clean his hand. What? I remember something troubled me at the time. At the scene, the lid of my brother's inkwell was open. Huh? But Clint was punctilious about such things. It seemed unusual. No document penned in the color of ink that was in the inkwell was ever found. So the document had disappeared. Are you suggesting that the document my father had in his hand that night in his cell was the same document that Lord Clint Van Zieks was writing moments before his death? Then, it was... If Mr. Veagle's testimony is to be believed, it can only mean that. Yes. Mr. Veagle? Sir! When you spotted Mr. Osugi with a document in his cell, his precise words were as follows, were they not? Alright then, but what's on that paper? A last will and testament. This will is the only weapon I have left now. Oh, phrasing! Phrasing! A last will and testament. Oh! If the conversation really did go as Mr. Veagle says, then what we know now completely changes the meaning of what Mr. Osugi said. You really think? Mr. Veagle did indeed see that the convicted with a will. But it wasn't that of Genshin Osugi. It It was the last will and testament of Lord Clint Van Zeeks. No. What? Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. This is madness. My brother's last will and testament? That would mean that he had chosen to die. That is what it would mean, yes. No, impossible. That is utterly out of the question. Lord Van Zeeks. Clint was pursuing the professor. It consumed him day and night. Whatever happened, he would never have abandoned his investigation before its conclusion. Never! He wouldn't rest until the job was done, until the killer was caught. The idea that he would willingly accept his own death is obscene.
Objection.
And yet, we could be sure that he was writing his will moments before his death. That Genshin Osugi came to be in possession of that document. So what could the will possibly have contained? Really something that couldn't be made public under any circumstances whatsoever. Because armed with that document, my father was able to negotiate with the judiciary for his life. It was something so damning that it prompted the powers that be to enact that daring jailbreak plot. Yes, there can be no question that will contain information of the utmost secrecy. Information of the utmost secrecy. Oh! Oh, it can't be. I've heard more than enough. Pursuing this notion of the Phantom when nobody can attest to having seen serves absolutely no purpose.
Objection.
No, my lord. That's unacceptable. What did you say, counsel? The last will and testament that Genshin Osugi had in his possession was that of Lord Clint Van Zeeks. All the testimony and evidence present to the court has logically led us to that as a possibility. We have a duty to pursue the line of reasoning to its conclusion. With no possible means of knowing the contents of the document, there's no line of reasoning to pursue. Ah. A reason why Lord Clint Van Zeeks, a man of high noble standing, would have chosen death. Information so secret, people in the judiciary would be willing to negotiate the jailbreak of the condemned killer. The only explanation that fits those facts is an unthinkable truth that turns absolutely everything on its head. But it's just too heinous. Miss Anano, though. However difficult the situation might become, you work with your client in pursuit of the truth. That's what you resolved to do when you entered the courtroom this morning, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the case was literally named that, Naro, though. Mr. Sato. So hold your head high and keep shouldering on. Yes, you're right. 10 years ago, in his final moments, Lord Clint Van Zeeks left behind a will. A will that Genshin Osugi was able to use as a weapon to negotiate his escape from prison. In all probability, the details in the will were related to the Professor case. The defense's last statement is mere conjecture. What are you getting at, man? Rinosuke? As soon as these words come out of my mouth, there's no going back. I believe that the last will and testament of Lord Clint Van Zeeks was in fact a report, an accusation a confession. You do this, Mr. Naruto. I believe that what Lord Clint Van Zieks actually penned that day was a confession. A confession? Regarding the mass murderer known as the Professor and his true identity.
Objection!
Enough, Council. What are you saying? Do you even realize? A confession about the true identity of the Professor. That would mean... Lord Van Zieks, I appreciate this must be hard to take in. But it's the only explanation that fits. The killer that terrorized London a decade ago became known as the Professor. The man believed to have murdered 5 members of the aristocracy. Wasn't Genshin Osagi at all. Ugh! No. Can't be suggesting he was in fact the man believed to have been the 5th victim. Lord Clint Van Zieks himself! It's finally open, is it? Pandora's box. The great Van Zieks family. They've been thoroughbreds of the British judiciary for years. And Lord Clint Van Zieks, he was a paragon of justice in the capital.
Murderer? A perpetrator
The
of
general
atrocities of the vilest nature?
law and order in the country would be finished. My brother. Oh, this is too awful. Oh, Lord Van Zieks. I wonder, though. You never suspect? Mr. Naruto? Lord Barak Van Zieks is a brilliant prosecutor. Is it conceivable that he didn't realize that what his older brother really was? Order. Order. Order in court. Lord Van Zieks. The Professor made use of an enormous hound as his murder weapon. Tell me, did your brother own a dog? Yes, he did. Balmug. He was a well-known hunting dog. People called him a giant. I don't believe this. My brother would go hunting in the forest of the grounds behind the house. Always took Balmug. After Clint's death, the creature passed away soon. Almost as if he were following his master. He was a magnificent hunting dog, worthy of the jewel-studded collar around his neck. A jewel-studded collar? That's right. Though sadly, some years ago now, he was stolen by a thief who broke into the house one night. A jewel-studded collar? Stolen by a thief? It so happens that myself and my colleagues have come across such a collar during our time in London. How could you? There was an old emblem attached to the collar, too, made of pure gold. It was topped with a small crown and bore an ornate capital letter B. What? An emblem bearing the initial B? Oh my, you know it? It's the insignia of the Baskerville family. What? The Baskerville family? Why is that name coming up now? Baskerville is the family name of my late brother's widow. That pure gold emblem was an heirloom, which Clint acquired upon their marriage. There could be no doubt then. The collar you described was Balmug's. The family insignia of Lord Clint Van Zeek's widow? There was a considerable amount of blood on the collar when we saw it. Since we know the dog was used for hunting, it could have been from its quarry, of course. It could equally have been from human prey. So it is true then. So in fact, the person responsible for these murders of nobles and royals was a noble himself. And that threatened to be an enormous scandal that would irrevocably establish British society. My father knew that, was using it to negotiate his way out of unjust charges brought against him. But at the very last hour, those he bargained with betrayed him, slaying him mercilessly on foreign soil. Well, can you deny it, Lord Strongheart? "10 years have passed, and it's still now. 6 million inhabitants of our great capital rest easy, believing that justice was done. That, though, is anomaly remains. The diabolical murderer was caught and executed. Very well, then. You may have the truth. Tell me, then. Tell me what Clint really was. Lord Clint Van Zeeks was too pure of heart. When he became a prosecutor and went in pursuit of the black roots of crime, he drove himself into a corner. He came to be uncomfortable realization that to fight the most fiendish of criminals requires one to become even more fiendish oneself. Clint. The 19th century was a truly miraculous 100 years for Great Britain, and indeed the whole world. New industry, new technology, with the birth of the Metropolitan Police Service, new law and order. These dazzling new developments meant even deeper shadows were cast on society. Water salooned by factories, thick with noxious fumes, and crime, growing daily to feel the darkness. Lord Clint Van Zeeks made it his mission to combat that darkness. But as time went on, it slowly ate his soul, till eventually he was consumed. It's ironic, really. It's somewhat surprising that the truth has once again been unearthed by a Japanese. Once again? What do you mean? 10 years ago, your father, Genshin Osugi, turned up at my office one night. The professor? Yes, beyond all shadow of a doubt. You must issue a warrant to search his home at once. Don't be absurd. The man comes from one of our country's most illustrious families. He's a paragon of justice here in the capital. Yes, that's the point. That's why none of you British can see it. He's using his noble status as a diversion whilst he commits these atrocious crimes behind the scenes. Do you have evidence? Nothing definite as yet. But he keeps an enormous savage hound on the estate. We need the full support of the judiciary for this. We're up against a member of the aristocracy. So a large family estate has a fierce guard dog. You should know that's commonplace here in Britain. I'm sorry, but I can't possibly put Scotland Yard onto this based on the tenacious accusation of a visiting student. So I turned down Osagi's plea, and as a result, he took it upon himself to visit Van Ziek's mansion on his own. We can only imagine now what happened between the two men. Though we know the outcome, of course. Lord Clint Van Ziek's perished. I don't believe this. So, in actual fact, that's what someone's father did. Me and the late Lord Van Ziek's meet the same fate. Put a permanent end to the professor killings. By taking the drastic measure of ending the perpetrator's life. As soon as I heard, I hurried to the mansion. When I arrived, it was easy to grasp what had happened. And what about the will? Osagi must have already taken it. Nothing of that nature was found at the scene. We have no idea of the existence of such a document at the time. I was the only person who knew of the true identity of the professor. So, I resolved to keep it a secret. To guard a secret to the bitter end. So you're admitting to it? That you were behind it all? It was you, then, who pinned the crimes on my father. I did what needed to be done in order to protect the law and order of the British Empire. Even if that meant employing an unforgivable ruse. It was you who arranged this fabricated evidence. I ordered that detective to take care of it, whilst keeping the truth from him, naturally. Grayson? Obviously. He opposed me at first. Are you off your rocker? We can't do something like that. There's no question that it was Osagi who murdered Lord Van Zieks. The house staff had made statements that they saw the man running from the mansion that night. Yes, well, no doubt it was that Japanese fella. But he hadn't got a shred of conclusive evidence against the man. And worse than that, he doesn't keep a dog. So we're short of a murder, a weapon to boot. We're short on time, Grayson. We must put a stop to the man's rampage, for the good of the country. So we'll use whatever means necessary. Do I make myself clear, Detective? Blimey. So that night, 10 years ago, when I was attacked by those thugs in the back streets, and Genshin's ring was taken, that was him, was it? That was Grayson and some hired help? The detective handed the stolen ring to Dr. Wilson, who faked his discovery from the victim's stomach during the autopsy. In light of that decisive evidence, Mr. Osagi, was found guilty of the charges brought against him. However, behind the scenes, he had actually already struck a deal with his accusers, in which we agreed to silently accept the charges. I just don't believe that part. As far as I knew the man, my father despised such underhanded dealings. It was extremely easy to make him comply. You see, he had one crippling weakness. What weakness? Isn't it obvious? You, Kazuma Osagi. Me? Perhaps you have no desire to return to your homeland, Osagi. What? No, I heard you had a 14-year-old son. Agree to cooperate and accept your guilt without contention. And you will see Japan and your son again. You scoundrel! Whether you choose wisely or not, it will be a close trial by order of Her Majesty. So whatever rash claims you might have made in court, we'll have no trouble in stifling them. There's only one outcome for you, Osagi. The gallows. Don't forget that I still have a weapon at my disposal. A document revealing a truth that I know you're desperate to keep hiding. Yes, it hadn't escaped my mind. Which is the only reason I'm willing to bargain with you. I only want to protect this country's law and order. You understand? So, what's it to be, Osagi? Kazuma. He did it for me? Apparently. But that being said, everybody, looks like we're at the endings of this little bit as we dive into the resolve of Ryunosuke Naruto a little bit more. Till then, thank you all for watching. Sayonara. Bye-bye. Mwah.